Yeah, today we are going to discuss about AWS CLI operation. So why we need CLI operation? Because sometimes your server need to talk with AWS services like S3. Your server need to talk with AWS some other server. Your database also need to send the logs to S3, and your MySQL server, Windows server, and your third-party tool, and your Windows PowerShell, Unix shell, and also many places we are communicating with AWS. So that's why we need to understand the CLI command line interface. In that also we need to work with some of the commands, some of the operations, what we do basically like that. Okay. So for that, for any operation, for any command line, so first of all you need, suppose if you go to the Windows PowerShell first. Okay, so if you already know POWER PowerShell, just to type the PowerShell, you will see this prompt. So the Windows PowerShell, that is the default with Windows operating system. Then you can just go there and you can type like AWS commands. These commands will work for me, but these commands will is not working for you, because the first step, we need to install the AWS command line software. Then only you can able to see this. The AWS command line software means you just to go to the Google and download the AWS CLI for Windows. AWS CLI for Windows. Then you can just download any of the AWS CLI document. See here, latest version. You click on that, then there is a AWS CLI software is available. So you just need to go to the AWS CLI softwares and you can download the software, and you can able to use the software to install. So this is just kind of command line. So AWS command line software. So we can use that AWS command line software to install. So like for example, so here this link is not giving the exact place. So installing using command line. So the software I'm looking for. So here in right side you can see there is a software version. Yeah. So for Linux version. So command line for Linux. So if you see here, just go to Google and try to find out where can we find the software. Install, uninstall, and all this thing. So you can just go to the softwares and you can install the software using command line. So other option is just to go to Google. I will also share with you from the drive. So AWS CLI for Windows. So directly we can see the software getting CLI for interface. Yeah. So we'll do one thing. After that, download. So this just AWS CLI Windows download. This will give you the direct software. See this one, the second option. Can you see this /CLI? So this will give you the direct software. You can download the software, and you can just, it is Windows. You know, you will already installed multiple Windows operating systems, multiple tools in Windows. You just MSI file. You just download from the Google, just amazon.com CLI, just type CLI, then there is a Windows button. You can see Windows download 64-bit. So now the software is downloading. Once the software is downloaded, you just go there to install the software. Once you go there, then you can install the software. After installing, then only your power command, this AWS commands will work. So can someone try and let me know? Are you able to see these commands? Anyone can try and let me know. So mostly you will not see this. Then what you need to do? You need to go to the AWS CLI and you need to download the software. it is downloaded, and you can install the software by click on the software. That's all. You are installing the AWS client software in your desktop or in your laptop. This is just client. So it is already installed in my desktop. So definitely it will fail and it will say it is already installed. But in your case, it may not install command line software. So you need to install the command line software to configure command line from your desktop or Windows server. It may be desktop. In company, it may be desktop, it may be Unix server, it may be Linux server, it may be PowerShell, or it may be MySQL server or anything. So now it is trying to install, but it definitely failed because I already installed the latest version look like. So any questions here about what we are trying to do here? Yeah, we are almost there. Then your system is, once it is installed, then your desktop will allow you to run this AWS command. From here, we can do all the services like Windows, all the services means IAM, AWS. Under AWS, what service are you talking about? EC2 server related. So you can type servers, how many servers are there. You can type how to create the server, and everything you can run from here. The same way, like whatever the service you want, like IAM service, for example, IAM service, you can see from IAM service also. So you can do everything from here itself. Suppose, but IAM, you can see list list hyphen users is the command to see how many users are there. Suppose if you want to see how many users are here, like AWS IAM list hyphen user. So it is trying to list out, but which user is trying to do. So like see, look like I gave the wrong command maybe. Yeah. So let's see. So in the meantime, the software is trying to install. After copying, first it is downloading the software. Once it is downloaded, definitely it will say it is already installed. So look like it is upgrading. That's why it is disconnected. My session is disconnected because it may be upgrading after downloading the software. So that means we are installing AWS command line software, AWS client software in our desktop. So that means what it is doing, just you can close this session and you can open again so that it will pick up the latest version. So to download the latest version of the software, you need to go to the aws.com, aws.amazon.com/CLI. So it is taking you to the command line interface software that just to go to these and download the software and install. And my software is installed now. Now I'm going to open the PowerShell. Suppose I'm going to open the PowerShell. Then if I try to access the AWS IAM under AWS IAM service under that list list hyphen users. So then what it does, list hyphen users. Then what it does, it will list out all the users, but from which account? I'm not yet configured. Maybe look like I already configured with some other user so that it is displaying. So based on the user, suppose like see for example, which user is configured already. If you go to the AWS, there is a IAM services, you already know that. So this IAM service, there is a user, that user is always created with some account. That account is having some access keys and secret keys. Based on the user access keys and secret keys, then people can able to log in. So let me wait for that.
So can we get a CLI documentation related to AWS? Is there any
Yes,
link?
CLI.
Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. CLI documentation means nothing actually. See here only the document from Google you can find anything, but easiest thing is from here, right? So you want to know what commands you are looking, right? Just question mark. So you don't need to go anything, just easy, right? Get user, how many users are there? So create user, list users, suppose list users. The words are also very easy. So get list user, create user, suppose delete user, see delete group. Suppose you want to delete a group. So the group name. After that delete group question mark, then it will give you what is next. Like, and also it will give you the suggestion as well. If I try to use list user, list users and all something wrong command you try, then it will give you the instruction also. Maybe you are trying to use this, try this. Got it? So first we need to understand what exactly we need. So based on that, we can manage. So imagine there is a user. This when it is the user. This user I created last class. Then this user related credentials I already updated here. That's why I'm able to see list -1 users means how many users are there. I can able to see because the user credentials are already configured. So then how to configure? Suppose this user, I want to configure the new user, then you can ask to the AWS administrator, and the AWS administrator can able to create the new user. Then that user is generating a access keys and secret keys corresponding to CLI. So if you want to enable the command line interface, so we can see the command line interface CLI. So the users, yeah, if you go to the add user, then you already know how to create user. In IAM session we discussed it, right? Then we create the user. I'm creating a user like Mike, so you can create any user. This is the programmatic access you need. Suppose if you go here, then you can go what permission you want to give, like for example administrative permission, so that he can able to do everything. Otherwise some S3 permission, so that he will do only storage operations, like that. So in this scenario the user is created, next. Then there is a access key and secret key is generated by this user Mike. That credentials I can use in command line while configuring the this thing con. So how to configure AWS? How to configure AWS configure is the command. So you can say like access keys. You can type the access keys. You can type access keys and secret keys and secret keys. So you can go here the secret keys, access keys and secret keys, and on which region you are. First of all, you are trying to you understand what we are trying to do, right? We are configuring my Windows PowerShell with my AWS account, access keys and secret keys, and on which region this account is configured. So then on which output, like output list, tabular format or JSON format also you can give. So like that. So by default that is there. So you can say enter. Now my system is connected to this thing. Now if I try to list users, it won't allow because the user mic credential I just updated. So the mic credentials is there, but mic user is having only access on S3. That's why the S3 can able to only mic can able to manage S3 related operations. S3 S3 related operations he can manage. So in that case, S3 related operations means like he has only storage administrator. He don't have anything like IAM user related. But he is trying to use AWS under AWS IAM related, that means security related. Then we are creating list users. We are trying to use list users. So now it is not allowing because list user command will not work for that. So instead of list users, you want to use S3 and instead of IAM service in S3 LS list. So then it will give you all the buckets and storage units and all. You don't have any buckets, that's why it's not showing anything. But you want to create a bucket. So like under AWS, so type AWS, all commands are giving. So all services related. That, but I don't want all services, for example. I want only storage related. Under AWS, S3 question mark. So under S3, what are the commands are available? Under S3, you have list of the buckets, you have the copy files, you have the rename the file, remove the files, remove the bucket, like lot of. So here I want to create my own bucket. So MB, make bucket. MB is the command to make a bucket. So what bucket you are talking about? Under S3, under S3 // SUN 780 suppose 89 or something like that. So I can create from command line also. I can do everything from here because my PowerShell is able to talk with AWS. So now if you go here, you can see there is a bucket is created now. The bucket is okay, 780 89 bucket. So because my command line, my PowerShell can able to talk to AWS. So it's not only creating bucket, you can delete the bucket, you can copy the files, you can sync the data from this current location to AWS. Like we have many options, but I will explain about that. But still, at least outline, we are trying to understand how to access to the AWS using PowerShell and what we are going to do with PowerShell. That means what we did here exactly, the step one to connect to the AWS command line. Step one is you need to install the CLI AWS CLI software. So you need to install the AWS CLI software in your Windows server. So the step two is you need to create a user with programmatic access. PROGRAM programmatic programmatic access. So you need to create the user with programmatic access along with the respective permissions. Respective permission. What permission he need based on the whatever he is doing. Suppose he is the Linux admin, so he can talk mostly like Linux system with AWS. Otherwise PowerShell, whatever it is. So now the next step is you generate the access keys and secret keys by the programmatic user. Then configure the CLI AWS CLI using AWS CONFIGURE configure. AWS configure is the command. You need to type AWS configure. Where exactly? In PowerShell prompt. Then it will give you the prompt like enter the access keys, secret keys. So then you can enter the access keys, secret keys. Then you can able to enter the there is a region on which region you want to access. So you can give any region, but wherever your buckets are there and all, you can provide. So that is the AWS CLI configure. Then tabular format. Sometimes the output is display in the tabular format. Sometimes the output you want to display the output in JSON format also. It is possible. So suppose for example, I'm configuring again. So while configuring the same keys, same secret keys, access keys and secret keys is the most important. We should not share this access key and secret key with anyone. So anyone, because this is by using this they can able to access your data. Then the region US East -1 region. I'm in East Coast, so I can able to go. You can do anything. It's not East 1 and all. So where can you get these US East 1 and all? So in AWS regions, you'll see that. So I will show you also. Then you can enter that the tabular format. Instead of that, JO, yeah, JOSN, I think JSON. Is that right? JO,
JASYN.
JA?
SYN.
Yeah, JSON script. So that means the output is displayed in the programmatic format now. The output is displayed. Buckets are always showing in the same format. There is no specific format. Suppose if I go to the list users, suppose I want to see list users, so it will give you, but this user don't have. See, it look like the format is different. I give. So the whatever the JSON format. So the spelling may be right or wrong. I'm not sure.
It's just JSON.
JSON, right? Yeah, JSON, JSON format. Okay. So then it will give you list users, means it is looking for the, but this user don't have the permission to list to see this user, the mic user don't have permission to see the users. Let me assign the IAM permission for this user Mike, so that he can able to see the users and all. So why we are assigning? To test whether we are able to, how to check the JSON format and all. So now this is done. So now we are almost there. So now coming to, if you go to the session again, now you can see the list users. Then it will display all the users in JSON format. Can you see that? You can use this format to do any of the programming and all like that. So instead of JSON format, I don't want JSON format. I want just tabular format, TABLE, tabular format. Then you can use this output in tabular format now. So that means, first of all, why we need command line? Your server, your Unix server, your Windows server need to send the data to AWS, so that you need to configure AWS. So now you are very clear about how to access the AWS using command line. But most important thing is where the keys will store. This is interview question. This is interview questions, like where the keys will store in this command line. So in our current directory, there is a hidden, there is a .aws. Can you see this? Hidden directory is there. That directory maintain the .aws. This is maintaining all of your keys, access keys. We just enter access keys and secret keys, right? So if you see the configuration, whatever the configuration and the credentials, both are here. So the credentials and configuration. So you go to the configuration, you can see CON config. So you can see all US data, tabular format and all. So you can see the credentials, more credentials. You can see all the credentials, CRE credentials. You can see the access key and the secret key of your user. So make sure you need to be encrypted key and all. I will explain how to do. But at least, yes, there is a access key. Secret keys are stored in your current directory. That is in hidden directory. There is a dot in your current directory. There is a dot AWS is the one of the hidden directory where we can store all this data. So that is the most important thing. So before going next, any questions here about how to configure a command line and how to see and where it is? And if you go to the AWS, under AWS, we are talking about S3, then question mark. It will give you all S3 related commands. So under S3, list buckets, so how many buckets are there? You can remove the bucket. You can sync the data from on-premises to AWS and all. We have from AWS to on-premises also, vice versa. You can sync both. So I will show you how to sync the data from command line to AWS and all. Before that, let me explain how to access the same thing using Unix shell. Before that, any questions here, anyone? How to, like after that, so installing CLI, then configuring programmatic, download the programmatic access, configuring a CLI using AWS configure. So here you need to provide the access keys. You need to provide ACCS access key, YS access keys, then secret key, secret key. Then what you are giving? Region. On which region is connecting. Then after that
Format.
the last one,
Format.
format may be tabular, like that, whatever the format you want. So like that you can provide all the details and you can configure. So then where it is configured, in your hidden directory there is a dot AWS, there your access keys and secret keys are here. So the configurations are located here. From here you can execute all the AWS commands like AWS S3 or question mark AWS CLI, AWS IAM, the user related operations. You can do anything based on whatever your requirement, IAM, like that. So this is the AWS S3, AWS IAM, and your home directory, and also all these things. So then the same way we will understand how to access AWS using Unix shell. So now we understand PowerShell, right? Windows shell, that is one command line area. The second one is the Unix shell, that is also command line. First of all, everyone need to understand why we are accessing AWS CLI. So that means to AWS CLI purpose is to communicate with AWS services from the command line. So that is the main important. So can I go to the Unix shell before any questions here?
One question. My PowerShell showing default region that is Virginia,
You can enter. You can
Eastern.
enter like US hyphen east, like
Okay. So
US
I would like
hyphen
to
east
change
hyphen one.
Oregon, that is West
Yeah.
2. So that
Yes.
can I put?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, as of now you can give anything, but the regions like AWS REGIONS for CLI command AWS region. So here they will give you all the region list. So the region list and all that describe the regions, right? So the regions there we are providing like all the JSON format we just discussed, right? Tabular format, whatever the
Yeah.
format we want. See the list of output format, how you want to display the output format. JSON format means it is displaying in the JSON format, like that. So like see on which region you want to provide and all. Describe the regions. Can you see this? Describe the
Yeah.
regions. So like everything you can see these many regions we have. US West 1 and these are the regions. West 2 and this thing. So what are the regions we have? You can clearly see AWS describe regions will give you all the regions on which region, what are the regions available and all. So based on that, you need to provide the, so because I don't have EC2 server access, that's why. Only option is you need to go to the Google and find the region. Otherwise, in AWS also, if you go to the AWS under EC2, right? If you go to the EC2 region, the regions are available actually. So the regions are available here in my dashboard. You can see there is a regions column. Can you see this?
Yeah.
You got it, right?
Yes.
So this is the region, US East 1. Suppose if I go to the Oregon you are looking for, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
West 2. So here itself you can see like the names. Can you see
Yeah.
this?
Yeah. Yeah. So we need to
Yeah,
type that west2 in the CLI PowerShell.
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So this one, S2.
Yeah.
Suppose I am trying US East -1, right?
Yeah.
So you have the regions, you can provide the whatever the region your company is requested. So the next option is we are trying to server, Windows server, Unix server. From Unix server also same story. So how to access AWS, how to configure AWS using Unix shell, how to configure AWS using Unix shell. So why we need to configure? Your Unix shell is generating a lot of logs. I want to ship all the logs to AWS S3. So your Unix script is generating something junk data sometime. Sometime your system is configured with backups. In many scenarios, your system should talk with AWS. Your system is not able to use mouse point and all. So your system can able to talk with only commands. But still, if you type AWS, it is not working because your AWS command line software is not installed. AWS command line software is not installed. So the same story, how to install the AWS command line software means I have a document here I already shared with you. So the AWS, there is a document here. Yeah, in the hands-on lab, there is a command line operation. If you go to the command line operation, you can see how command line operation will work. Otherwise, you can go to the storage also S3. There you can find out all the command line operations and all. I think Bharat, you are looking for these, right? So I already shared with you. If not, let me know. It looked like he's not there. Yeah. So this command line document, you just go through, follow the command line document, and you can just understand how it is going to talk. So here I can go to the last step directly. So where I can manage the directly command line. So it's very easy, your system command line. You want to install the Windows, I mean Unix command line shell, command line. So how to access command line? That means like here very easy. First thing you need to install the Python software. So if the Python software is not there, this won't work. So most of the system Python software is installed. MINSTALL install. So if you install the Python software, then we are almost there. So means like you need to understand here Python is required for command line. Without Python, we can't use any Python. Without use, we can't install command line. So my Python is installing now. So once the Python software is installed, Python 2.7 is installing. But my system need more latest version. Let's see the how it is. The second step is you need to download the software from AWS. So you can also download from the Google. You can also download from the Google, and you can you can also download from the Google, and you can install. The first step one, what we did, we need to install the Python. So that step one, we installed the Python. So this is most important. That's why I'm concentrating more here. So we do lot of times. Okay. So first you need to install the software, then Python software, which is dependent, which depends on this. So that means our CLI need Python. So then the second step is you are downloading the software. You are downloading the curl is the Unix command that will download any software just like a browser. So if you download the software, very easy. So curl and your location of the software. If you click on this, You just take to the browser, you can also download that. See, my software is downloading. AWS CLI downloading. That means whatever the path they are mentioned, that has the software that you are using called to download the software from AWS to your command line. Look like something happened. So curl and this thing. What's going on? So look like it is not installed. Maybe I am giving wrong command. Oh, I missed the where it is going to install. So that means the last part. This is missing. The bundle software, iPhone O bundle software. So I missed this part. So where it is going to install. So in my current path is not mentioned. That's why it is not able to see where it is going to install. That means finally call this thing and iPhone O the software, AWS software like that. So this is the AWS bundle you are trying to install by using this command. That is the command line software. So once you downloaded this software, so look like it is there, but I missed the, yeah, this part. I missed this part. Okay. So now you are very clear about how to install. First of all, what we are trying to do here, how to access AWS using from your Unix server. For that, step 1, you need to install the Python software. Step 2, you can download the Unix, you can download the AWS bundle, command line bundle. You can download this. The third one is you need to unzip the software. You need to unzip the software. So it is in zip format. If you see from the command line, you can see the software is in zip format. So that you need to unzip the AWS CLI. So I'm trying to unzip the AWS CLI, but it is saying unzip is not working. So what I need to do, I need to install the unzip command. Install install unzip command. This will unzip the software. Now you are very clear about unzip command. Also you installed. Now my bundle software is installed. See, now I can go to the my command line software. I can go to the my command line software. My command line software. Once I'm in command line software, then what I can do, I can install. There is an install script. So that means like I can go to the unzip command, then I can go to the directory, then I can go to the install -i, the location of the software. You need to give the location where you want to install. So sometimes this may not allow. The reason is the Python version may be different and all. But finally, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to install -i by using AWS -b, wherever the location, just you try. But it is saying you have only Python 2 point something. So, but the system is looking for Python 3.6 and later. So we need to install using Python 3.6 and this thing. So that's why we need to follow the Python 3.6. 3.6 or whatever latest version. So I need to install the Python install install Python 3 version. We need to install also. So once you install Python 3, you may be Python 3, yeah. So we are installing the Python 3 software because my system understanding, my AWS command line software need Python 3. So which Python Python means this is version 2 hyphen VRSION version. This is 2 point something. So 2.7, but I don't want 2.7, I want 3.6. So the 3.6 something 3 Python 3. So I'm finding where the my Python Python hyphen name. I'm searching for the Python software Python Python 3. Means like here what I'm trying to do. So my Python 3 is installed in this location. So this path, this should go to the Python directive. So ln hyphen s. So these two slash bin Python Python. So that means this is already there. So let me move these two slash temp. This is little exercise, but later on I will explain all of this. But at this time, just to proceed with I'm just setting up all the Python path, that's all. Then I am installing the software. So it is installing the software, running this command line. It is downloading the software links. See what it does. So we just need to wait for the software to install. Once the software is installed, then we need to use AWS command line. So that is the one most important thing. Okay. It is still downloading, look like. See, this is the actual command line big package. It is untarring and it is doing something. If it is not installing, then we need to check the Python part. The Python 3 is with the Python now. Sometime the packages are like the M repository is looking for Python 2 sometime. So then, yeah, it is installed. Can you see this? Now, if you see this, now Python 2 is installed. Now my Python software is installed. Before that, whenever I type the command like AWS, AWS commands are not working. Now AWS commands are working. So what I did here steps, first of all, what I'm trying to do, my Linux server is going to talk with I want to talk with my Linux server with AWS. For that, what I did, I installed the Python package first, then I downloaded the software, then I unzipped that software, then I'm just going through the software, then installing the package, installed or something like that. Finally, my software is installed. Once the software is installed, then you want to see the software version, which version is installed and all. You can clearly understand what version it is installed. So if you understand that my software is installed, my command line software is installed. Now you need to configure the same way how we did FYGURE. Before that, let me try with the AWS S3LS. That means which account it is need to go, That's why you need to configure first. So configure means you are giving a link between your Linux server to your AWS IAM user. If you go to the IAM user, you already created a user, like Mike is the user you created, and you can generate the access keys. Otherwise, you can create the new user also. Otherwise, you can provide the access keys and the secret key. This access key and secret key is the most important. Go to IAM user, then look for there is a key generation. You can create a key and you can provide the access key and the secret key here while configuring. So whenever you configure this access key and the secret key, you are almost there to see that. So on which region you want to see? I want to look for US-EAST-1, US East -1. So output format is JSON or something like that. So if you see none also will work. So I can say TABLE tabular format. So then now your commands will work and it will fetch the data. See, the bucket is allowed and you want to sync the data from on-premises, the server to, suppose I have a lot of packages here. I want to sync this data from this current location to my AWS S3. Yes, you can sync the data and you can do whatever you want from here. I just explained where the keys are stored and where the in your home directory there is a .aws hidden directory. There your configuration is there, and you can also operate with some out server related and keys related. You can do everything from here. You have the command reference also. So see now I am list user, how many users are there and how many groups like that. So it's very easy. From here you can create the make bucket, you can create a bucket, you can delete a bucket, you can do everything here. So also this is the most important part is you can display the bucket related files. We'll talk about this, don't worry, bucket related and everything, but outline like we are just trying to understand what is this bucket, how the this everything configured using command line, that is Unix. So here the bucket name is 190 89. So in specific bucket, is there any data like that you can see? And also I want to sync the data. Sync is really important. Syncing means you can copy also. You can copy all the files from on-premises to AWS on-premises, and you can spend some time here. But I will also explain again still. But as of now, just I will come back again. Okay, after some time. So now coming to suppose I want to sync everything from 89 to from current directory to 89 path. So that means what it is doing under AWS, you are executing S3 commands. That command, one of the command is sync command that will sync all the current data from current means your present directory to S3, under S3, this thing. So now it is copying. See, all the data is uploaded. If you go to the S3, you can see the files are uploaded here. If you go here, you can see a lot of files are uploaded to AWS S3 bucket. See, I am not copied, right? It is copied. So one day someone is deleted all the files here. RM star. Imagine someone is accidentally deleted or something happened. Okay, I mean RF star. All I deleted. See, now you want back. Someone asking you, hey, I need the files. Just you need to do reverse everything from there to this bucket. So just you are going to current directory, everything you are downloading. See, very simple and straightforward. Now you can see every data. You can also schedule this every after 1 hour, after 2 hours, every 2 3 hours, or otherwise every day after business hours. I want to sync all the logs directory to this location. You can create a file system with log directory. That logs will redirect to AWS. I think you guys are understanding, right? So after syncing the data, you need to get alert so that you can set up the notification also. So it's a big job actually. So a lot of things are here. So that is the command line related. This command line, not only this S3, you can do everything. You can manage like how many. I will give you one exercise to you guys. So how to extract all the the accounts with the expiry date like 7 days or something like that. So just you can try and you can find out that, okay, by using this command line. Just you need to use AWS IAM related. Under IAM related, what are you talking about? So I'm talking about users. So you can see from here like update tag for the user. So how to use this option is like you can go here, then again you can type question mark, it will give you how to use that tag also. See, the option is AWS command line sub command, like that it will give you the all the requirement hyphen username hyphen tag like this. So the following arguments are required. So hyphen username and hyphen tag name. That's what we want, right? Username and tag name. So like you can provide the tag, or you can just to spend some time here, so you can easily understand. And if you go to the AWS document, so the AWS document will give you the example as well for this command line. So everything, suppose see delete user, right? If you go to the amazon.com, you can see from the command line. So delete user in AWS, delete user, delete hyphen user, example. So that command line, right here, if you see AWS command line, delete user option, the reference. So this is what you are looking, right, Bharat? So they will give you with example also. See under delete user hyphen add value hyphen username hyphen CLI input equal to JSON or whatever the format, like that. If you go to the example also, you can see IAM delete user and username. That's all. So you want to delete a user, suppose using your Unix script. That's all. You can able to delete the user Mike. You may not able to delete because you are in the same user. So that's why you may not deleting this user. Detach policy first and like that. So now coming to SUVM IT7. So that way you can also operate like first we need to detach like the user and all. So anyhow I will explain. But you guys are understanding, right? So AWS easy to describe. describe. Describe what you want to describe. Describe means to see what you want to see. That is, describe is just kind of describe address, describe volumes. Suppose you want to see how many volumes are there in Unix in EC2. So you don't have access because this user is having only authorization to perform this operation. So because this user has only limited permission from the Unix, I mean like from AWS. So I think Mike, right? So if you go to the IAM user, the Mike user has limited permission. That's why he don't have anything to do with the server operation. He has only IAM, he has only full access on S3, but he don't have access on EC2. So I'm providing server access, then he can able to do server related operations also. He can able to do server related operation also. So this is the one more important. Now he can able to do all server related also. How many volumes are there? Look like the volume is attached and how many volumes are not attached. You want to know from all accounts, suppose. So like you can see lot of information here, like describe volumes. So that is the one more important. So please go ahead. You can extract this some of the outputs and you can do lot. Okay. But at least outline, yes, we are understanding there is a command line interface. We are operating command line. So you just go to the AWS and what service you are talking about, IAM service or S3 service or server related service, and you can look for what are the commands and you can do whatever you want to. So this is very, very easy and simple. So please go ahead. Any questions here about how to log in into the AWS S3 using PowerShell, using Unix shell, using this management console. Just look for this and you can able to access. Also, you understand like third-party tool like a Cloudberry software or S3 browser. S3 browser also any third-party tool. You just go here and you can operate. Then you can operate your whatever you want to delete. You can upload and everything you can do from the this also. So now you are very much clear. Make sure you guys are check the bells frequently. Sometime you may enable something and we never know that. Okay. So anyone, any confusion about all these things, please go ahead. Yeah, I'm deleting the user after my practice is over. Okay. So I hope everyone understand here. If anyone not clear about, let me know here about the command line. Where the keys will store? The same in Unix also, in your home directory, ls -la, there is a hidden directory, In the hidden directory, there is a dot hidden this thing. So you can see these credentials. You can see the config. The config will allow you all these auxiliaries and he is accessing. And also credentials will help you to see the access keys and secret keys and everything. So this is also very, very much important. So any confusion questions here? Everyone with me? Yeah, perfect. So we are starting like 100% placement oriented training. It is applicable in India, in the US also. These modules are really, really amazing. I don't know whether people will understand, but it's really amazing because AWS admin, Azure, Google Cloud, Linux admin, Terraform, Ansible, and also projects, everything is only 25K first, then 25K after job. That is 500K first, in $500 in first, and after job $500. Okay. If any of you guys are your friends or anyone looking for this program, just you can reach me. And also there is a demo. Okay, you can share with your friends so that they can sometime if they are interested they can attend for this. Okay. And yeah, that's all I think for now. Any questions, anyone? Yeah, thanks everyone, then we'll meet you tomorrow.